Hello, everyone, and I need to make this abundantly clear before this gets started. I do not like a lot of celebrities, and especially people like Kim Kardashian and her sisters and her mom. They are celebrity influencers, which are two of my least favorite things. Celebrities and influencers, and then Kim and everyone in her family is also a blatant scam artist, and this website proves it. At the very least, if you don't believe this website, it makes a few remarks that should have you questioning how good of a person all of the Kardashians are, because none of them are good people. None of them. They're all scam artists looking for the next way to make a buck. And I really hope all of you that don't believe that just look at this website and just realize all of them are scam artists. This dude literally got screwed by Kim and Kris. If you still believe the Kardashians and are trying to defend them after this, you have zero respect, and it proves to me that you're just a zealot that will believe anything they say, regardless of how insane some of the shit that they say is. Because a lot of you do not think for yourselves. You're just blatant fans that will follow them to the ends of the earth. And before I keep going on this, I'm just going to get into it. We're just going to start reading through some of this, and then I'll just let you make your own opinion while I'm saying my final pieces. Serial fraudster Kim and Kris in their most blatant ideas theft yet. I'm building this site on my iPhone and trying to gain momentum for this in my spare time while working 2 jobs and camping in my car. Please share. There are quite a few exhibits of evidence. I'll add a whole section to this site for emails, texts, screenshots, original art for emojis, a recording, and over 20 individuals that had involvement and be witnesses. This all started when Kardashian was using our app we had on the Apple App Store named Censorgram. On Censorgram, you can add words, emojis, or phrases that you want automatically removed from your Instagram comments. Kim obviously had a need for it. She used our app and reached out to me by phone to discuss being the face as well as partner. Then a few weeks later, we met and made an initial partnership agreement at Kris's house in Calabasas, California. After that is when it all got weird. The meeting in Calabasas and after. Kim can win an award for her acting job with the other partner, Narayan. In 2014, the face-to-face meeting for Censorgram was in Calabasas, and at this point, she's never heard the name Kimoji or thought of it herself as an emoji. Emojis weren't as big as they are now, keep in mind. All went well for Censorgram part. We discussed shares, what platforms we want to bring this to, legal stuff like us getting them our file with our provisional US patent info for the process we created, etc., etc. Her team signed our NDA for that. The importance of this comes up when we talk more about Censorgram later. Then at the end of the meeting, we pitched the mock-up Kimojis, and Kim absolutely loved the idea. Kimoji became all that mattered. We agreed to split 50-50 on Kimoji. After the meeting, we received a call and were told by Kim's team that we needed to be coached to handle working with an A-list celebrity. This gets extra scandalous during this few-week period of time following the meeting. My family and I are on cloud 9 with the thought of our new agreement with Kim and all the success we'd have together. Then out of the blue, Kim contacts us and asked if we'd trademark Kimoji and everything was good, but they would go ahead and do it to be helpful. Literally 5 minutes later, Kim calls and is shocked, asking, "Who's Ryan?" and all distraught. Apparently, without my knowledge, one of our partners took a picture of some words on a page that Kim used in our Censorgram app. No user handle or private info, just a little clip of a screenshot to brag, privately between him and a friend. Well, this friend was jealous and actually had a friend in Chicago that knew someone in Kim and Kanye's world. Narayan's friend, Alice Godinsky, is a friend with Gene Brovlusky, and he's close to Jonathan Cheeman, who is obviously friends with Kim. They intentionally sent the screenshot in hopes that it would interfere. It did. Jean admitted to this at a party in Chicago and how it was done intentionally to hurt Narayan potentially and disrupt the partnership with Kardashian. Kim backed out and threatened to sue us for $5 million if we didn't hand over Kimoji rights and give her the ability to do her own comment control app, which blocked our patent hopes. The Kimoji trademark was filed by Kim's company 5 minutes after her staged phone call. So to be clear, she called us and asked if we trademark Kimoji, stating, "All is a go-ahead." Sounding excited, then 5 minutes later, after her team secured the trademark, she called us asking who is Ryan and why is he spreading her info, which nothing of the sort was ever done. This is fraud through and through. She has gotten away with it until now because she is incredibly wealthy. Aside from this, a few years later, we noticed that Instagram added the process we created for Censorgram to their settings after their CEO at the time, Kevin Systrom, told Kim clearly they wouldn't use that type of comment control. Kim, Kanye, and former IG CEO used to hang out. There's media out there of them all. Kanye at the time was wanting to fix Instagram. This is all why it's extra shady, because of that relationship and them going to IGHQ to discuss this. She's never answered for any of this. There's more. Stay tuned. Shortly after we noticed Instagram using our process, we found some very alarming evidence in our old emails. Remember when Kim called us asking who's Ryan and why is he sending her info around Chicago? Well, she damn well knew who Narayan was. I introduced him in the email as Narayan and she replied, "Nice to meet him," as Ryan. Several instances back in their team referred to Narayan as Ryan. So that means she knew of this before we signed their NDA at the meeting in California. She kept this in her pocket to use against us and lured us in to get our comment control app, Censorgram. Then she got Kimoji too and wasn't even expecting that part. I'll add more about our last attorney, Robert Hantman, but he told me to withdraw the lawsuit and try to see where arbitration goes. Nowhere, that's where. And no one knows why Hantman suggested that. I went in debt over that lawsuit. So now I'm getting creative and I won't shut up about it. We had several emoji projects already started before we met Kim, Wall Street Emojis and Sexy Emojis app. So we just took some of the existing images and then did some of her, Chris, and Kanye for fun to see if they'd like the idea. Kimoji was just a side project idea we added to impress her. We figured she would be excited to see it and do that project while we developed Censorgram. I'll elaborate more on how that turned into the Kimoji idea later today. Back to the fraud for the Kimoji trademark. So because Kim didn't want to partner, she used that harmless screenshot meant to be private to threaten us and cause internal turmoil. We had no idea what was going on. The threatening letter from Martin Singer's office had me shaking as I had something to lose then. The threat made it seem like we really messed up. With all parties involved, it took a bit to understand what they even were talking about. Come to find out, a different attorney I had look at this said the statute they said we supposedly violated in the threat from Singer wasn't applicable to what we supposedly even did. This whole thing was a complete shit show, and Kardashian Jenner made tons of money for years off of it. I lost everything. She could have said, in light of this thing with Niran, I'd like to part ways and buy the Kimoji trademark. Done and done. We would have walked and kept pushing our Censorgram app without securing the patent for the process. It was dead. Then the entire investment was gone. Legal fees for this patent was wasted. Personal issues and lack of funds stemming from all of this has made a comeback refiling of the lawsuit incredibly hard. Hearing Kanye's song Facts, where he says, plus Kimoji just shut down the App Store, we made $1 million a minute, it's really tough to avoid getting triggered when they are everywhere on TV and music. On to Censorgram and how Kim interfered with a talk we had with a shark from Shark Tank the TV show. She said she knew this person personally and would talk to them. I would have an email proving this, putting her on the spot, but it also includes the shark, so I may have to hold off adding that name for now. I put a screenshot of Censorgram above. We were on the App Store for a while and had thousands of users. I lived in Oklahoma at the time. The news channels there did stories on Censorgram. Then years later, they covered the lawsuit. So just as a reference, so a lot of you understand, I went to the Kardashian Jenner Wikipedia page just to see what was the first thing on there. And the first notable event that is listed on here is Kim Kardashian became a celebrity in the early 2000s after having a pornographic film leaked with Ray J, which enabled the family as a whole to rise to stardom in 2007. This is literally what your family is known for. There's a sex tape from Kim Kardashian, and that literally leads them into their own reality show. This is a family that is so hollow. They have no values. They have no talent. They have nothing. They have nothing. I just want you to understand this. This is the same. Kim Kardashian is the woman that threatened to sue Roblox. And for any of you that understand how much money Roblox makes, you realize how stupid of a statement that is. Roblox makes so much fucking money in one day that if Kim Kardashian had dared to even try to sue the company, the entire Kardashian family would probably be broke. Like, we can only hope for that day whenever none of them are relevant and they have no impact on popular culture, because at that point, we will get better as a society. The Kardashians are not good for society. They are not good for anything. And if you are one of those zealots who follow Kim Kardashian and defend her no matter what, or you follow, who are the other members of the Kardashian family? I literally have to look because I do not care about them. Who are the other ones? Kourtney, Khloe, Kendall, and Kylie. If you care about any of them, I'm sorry. They're worthless. They do nothing. What have they added? What do they do other than just existing? Nothing. Nothing. They try to sell you these ideas of beauty and fashion, but they're too uptight. And honestly, if you really do love the Kardashians, I'm sorry. You're stupid. They have nothing of value to bring anything. And the sooner they are gone, the better we are.